The divine stopped them in their tracks. The plays and the plots and the lies that they placed upon people in the duration of their lives had to stop once they came across you. Hello, my name is Ishamina, and welcome to the podcast, God Is. And today, I want to talk about the divine stopping the enemy wherever the enemy plots and plans were. I want to talk about this because we live in today in a society where the enemy gets really bold, right? The enemy has lied, has cheated, has responded, has played, has plotted, and gets so many in their lives against family members, against strangers, against the ones that they tricked to love them, to the ones that believe that they will cover them. They have been unnoticed and unseen for decades until that enemy come across a divine being. And what I mean by a divine being is someone that's perfect. A divine being doesn't mean that you're 100% right all the time. The divine being has a special connection with spirit, with the Most High, with the universe, with God. Even through that divine being mistakes, that divine being misunderstood, the lessons that the divine being had to learn, the connection that the divine being has with the ultimate divine cannot be broken. And that's where the enemy loses his grip. Because unbeknownst to the enemy, when the enemy sees a divine being, they don't have the connection to the divine to understand what that is. They don't have the eyes to see who God is in the spiritual realm. So when someone is walking with God in the physical, they are blind to the effect. They are blind to the connection. So they treat the divine being as their past projects. They treat that divine being as their come-ups, as their scams, create lies about the divine being, and have no understanding that once that divine being crossed their lives, once that divine being entered their threshold, as a divine being entered their portal of personal being, they are no longer doing it to that person. They are now trying to outplay the divinity of God. They're trying to outplay the divinity of God. They're trying to scam the divinity of God. They're trying to lie in God's eyes. They're putting lies on God's being. They're putting facades on God's truth, unbeknownst to them. Because the divine being is nothing but a messenger. Even if the divine being doesn't know that they are the messenger, the divine being is the messenger to the Most High. See, because what God does and what the Most High does, He'll put the divine beings, the ones that's saturated with love, the ones that's saturated with compassion, the ones that don't have any ill will towards anyone, and they'll put them in the face of the enemy. And they'll put them in the face of the person that does ill will to people. They put them in the face of that because they tell them, okay, basically what God and the divine will say. I didn't see how you handle the people that I placed in your life. I didn't see how you lied on them, how you cheated on them, how you abused them, how you played them into your plot and your plan in order for you to get the things that you want. I see how you discarded them. But this one right here, I'm going to put this one right in front of you. This one is going to be right in front of you. Whether if it's your child, whether it's your daughter, your siblings, your brother and sister, where is this your mother, where is this your father, where is this a friend, a coworker. I am going to put this person in front of you and see how you handle them. I'm going to see how far you're going to go with them. Because unbeknownst to you, they are here on this physical realm, but they're working with me. Even if they don't know they're working with me. They're working with me. So I'm going to put these people right in front of your face. I'm going to put this person right in front of you to see how you handle them. And once you mishandle them, you don't have to answer to them. You have to answer to me as God. Those without eyes cannot see or experience the divine in that way. So you get placed in front of them. And those who are highly anointed carry a heavy cross to bear with great responsibility. You carry great burdens because unbeknownst to you, you have to be the physical sacrifice of emotions. Unbeknownst to you. But you also have to understand, even if you don't know, the emotions that you sacrifice, God will heal and clean and restore you long as you have faith, long as you lead with love, long as you lead with compassion, long as you lead with understanding. So yeah, it will hurt. Yeah, it will get to a point where you asking God, why? Why did my father do this to me? Why did my mother do this to me? Why did my brother and my sister do this to me? Why are people handling me this way? I'm just in front because you're in front of the line. They are getting tested and they don't even know. God is putting you in front of the line because God is saying no matter how much they hurt you, no matter how much they harm you, no matter what lies they put against you, no matter what physical ailments they put on you, no matter how many times they break your heart, no matter how many times they mentally abuse you, no matter how many times they break your character, no matter how many times they tell you that you're not nothing, you are with me. You are with me. I have you. You're safe in my arms. You're safe with the divine. So I have to put you on the front line. You are the test. You are the soldier of strength. I have to put you on the front line. Because the karma that they receive, the things that's coming to them, has to be properly addressed for me. Because what those people understand is they've been moving sly and they've been moving snaky and they've been moving devilishly on their own accord with no reports back to me. No one reported back to me. those ones that they did these things to, no one reported back to me because they thought that these people had the power. No one reported back to me because they believed the things that was happening to them, they deserved. No one reported back to me. But being that you have a connection to me, being that you have the connection to God, being that you have a connection to the Most High, whatever these people did, you called back to me and said, hey, you prayed to me, you talked to me, you cried to me. That alerted their karma. Their karma had to be counted for. Because even though they thought they had the power, at the end of the day, you knew as a divine being who to report back to. You knew as a divine being who to cry out to. You knew as a divine being who to praise to during your time of need. You knew as a divine being, no matter how much they hurt you, you walk with love. And even if you don't know the Most High and the divine, as long as you walk with love, you walk with the power of God. You led with love, even if they put hate on you. You led with honesty, even after all the times they lied on you. You continue to heal, even when it was hard with you, even if it was hard for you to heal. You continue to heal no matter how much they tried to harm you. You are the soldier of the divine. You had to report back to the divine. So the more reports that you send into the divine, the more you pray, the more you cry, the more you beg, the more you lay down in your bed and you ask God, why? Why is this happening to me? All I did was be myself. All I did was show these people this. All I did, I never hurt no one. God, I said, no worry about it, child. Your reports, your cries, your prayers is all I need in order for them to get what they deserve. That's why after they cross you, that's why after they hurt you, that's why after they abuse you, oh, that facade of fake power of evil crumbles. Because God said, oh, you think you have the power, huh? Okay. The divine said, oh, okay, you think you can treat anybody like this, huh? I've been giving you grace and I've been giving you mercy with your past and the things that you did in your past time. But once I put this person in front of you, however this person falls into play into your life, once I put this person in front of you, understand the game is over. God said, this ain't no dominoes. God said, this ain't no checkers. God said, this ain't no spades. God said, this is chess. This is chess. But you've been playing checkers out here with these people. But this one right here, or you're going to get exactly what's coming to you. Because I have to know for certain and for sure this person cried to me. This person's heart is filtered through love. This person knows that they will not change their heart. Because if they change their heart, they are not longer with me. You didn't know that. The divine knew. So that's why the divine stopped them in their tracks. A lot of divine beings are more spiritual, are more powerful, are more greater than you could ever imagine. They have the ability to bring down the enemy. They have the ability to bring down the people who cause pain and trauma and chaos without being in that energy because they walk with the divine. They have protection. They are spiritually protected. Some people are so spiritually protected you can't even talk about them. You can't even put your lips on them. The way you talk, the way you bash, the way you curse, the way you talk about this person's future, you can't even talk on them. They so protected. And those the enemy doesn't even notice. They don't even notice. The more I talk about this person, the more my life begins to crumble. The more I stay in this gossip energy, things just happen to me out of nowhere. I don't understand why. You can't even put your mouth on people, on certain people. Understand what that is. Because this has nothing to do with religion. This has nothing to do with how many churches you go to. This has nothing to do with how much you can recite the Bible. God is everywhere. God is amongst all religions, even if they don't even know. The Spirit was here first. God was here first. Beyond the book, beyond words. And even when you get to the frequency of God, the frequency of God moves in silence. The frequency of God moves quietly. Have you ever noticed when you go to certain churches, everything is quiet? When you go to certain mosques, everything is quiet. When you go to certain temples, everything is quiet. When you go to certain shrines, everything is quiet. When you go to mausoleum, everything is quiet. That's the frequency of God. So those that walk around erratic all the time, loud all the time, always going all the time, and not even in the frequency of silence, it's hard for them to get to that divine connection. It's like when you turn on the radio and stuff starts static and you can't hear a song and you hear one song, but then in the middle on the other side of the station, you tune in, you hearing two different songs at one time, and then you hear all the static and they aren't settled. Their spirit isn't settled. Their spirit is chaotic. And anytime you have a chaotic spirit, it is hard for you to get to the frequency of the divine. The divine had to stop them in their tracks. The divine had to say no more. No more. No more. And please understand, that's why people say, oh, karma takes too long. Oh, well, I need it done right now. Understand what that is. Sometimes karma has to take a long time for it to play out. Like dharma has to take a time for it to play out. Karma is basically just like the consequences that you would get in order when you did a lot of stuff you shouldn't been doing. Okay? And the dharma is the good stuff. Karma has to take a long time because you can't take karma into your own hands. Because once you take karma into your own hands, you're only paying someone back on what they did to you. You're only paying somebody back on what they did to you. But when the divine steps in on karma, oh, they have a list of everything they did to everyone they encountered. Oh, baby, this karma isn't just about you, sweetheart. This karma is about everybody they touch. This karma is about everybody they lied on. This karma is about every time they scheme and scam to hurt people. This karma is about every time they physically abuse people. This karma is about every time they lied on family members, and that's the karma, baby. You don't even know nothing about. You sitting here, yes, I understand that you hurt. Yes, that's how the divine talk to you. That's how the divine talk to me, excuse me. I understand that you hurt. I understand you want to pay them back. I understand you understand they need to be judged. But please understand, you don't know everything these people done did while they was here on this earth. You can't pay them back for that, but I can. So what I need you to do right now is step yourself out of this situation and this equation and let me handle them. Let me handle them, child. You step back. It's my turn. You step back. It's my turn. And understand, because you're so loving and you're so compassionate and you're so understanding. These people that have possibly hurt you, this isn't the first time of them causing you pain. But you still stood in understanding. You still stood in compassion. Because, unbeknownst to them, you had the love and the authenticity for them to change over and live their life in forgiveness. Like, man, I've been doing all this stuff to these people, but this person right here, man, they loving, they understanding, they compassionate. Like, I know I did wrong in the past, but this person right here been showing me something different. Maybe I should walk the way they walk. Maybe I should be in the frequency that they in. They could have saved themselves through you. Not because you're God, but because you walk with the divine. Understand what that is. Understand what that is. So the moment they chose not to see the divinity in you, not even if they don't know what that is. The moment they chose to misuse the love that you displayed towards them and on them, oh, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. They had to do nothing to nobody no more. That's it. That's it. Judgment has been called. Their karma is here. Now, since their karma is here, your dharma is waiting on you too. Don't please, don't misunderstand what that is either. If you lived a life where you stayed in love, you stayed in compassion, you never placed the ailments of yourself onto people, not on purpose. Because I know you have to heal. You have to be in a certain spot in order not to know that you're doing that. But there are some broken people who are so broken, they purposely go out to break those who aren't broken on purpose. That's what I'm talking about. You stayed in the light. You stayed in the truth. Oh, baby, your dharma is coming. Because God got to see the report on you too. Not on what the other person that's been doing this chaotic stuff on. God has to see the report on you too. God will pull your report and say, okay, so your mother did this to you and you remained like this. Your father did this to you and you remained like this. Okay, your closest friends, your best friend did this to you and you remain in this energy. You didn't give no, you stayed in the light, you stayed in the love. The people around you did this to and you stayed in this energy. The person that you've been loving for all these years all of a sudden did these things to you and you still stay close to me. You're going to get what you deserve too. But if you stay focused on the enemy will always try to take your sight off of that, to make you believe that nothing is more powerful than that. Nothing is more powerful. Nothing is going to change. You might as well come on this side. You might as well say, fuck that shit. That good stuff is not going to happen to you. Oh, everybody else doing it. Oh, well, they hurt you. You might as well go out and hurt them. That's the enemy talking right there. Because when you really healed and you really in God's frequency and you really walking in the light and you really walking in the authenticity, you will remove yourself fast before you even consider do anything like that. Because you know what side you're on. Understand, this is a spiritual war. This is a spiritual warfare that we experience on this physical realm. Because yes, we're here physically. We all look the same. We all got the same body parts. Even if those body parts look different. We all have the same thing. We all are composed the same. We all have a brain. We are all the same unless someone is born differently just because God says so. But either way, we all are the same. The thing that separates us is what we choose to fill our spirit with. The things we choose to fill our spirit with. The things we choose to act upon. The thoughts we choose to think. The ways we choose to live. That is what separates us. And all of that is spiritual. All of those things are spiritual. Because your spirit, it was feeds your vessel. Your spirit feeds your physical vessel. So what's keeping your physical vessel going? So if your physical vessel is being produced and fed on negativity, lies, deceit, hurt, pain, there has to come a time where you have to get what you receive, you have to get what you deserve. You can't outrun that. Your body does not lie. Your body keeps score. Your spirit keeps score. Your mind keeps score. No matter how many times you try to think that whatever you do in your life doesn't matter, it does. Even if you try to ignore whatever you do, you can't. That's why your some certain people consciousness will eat at them, and they hate that little voice in their head. Because that voice in your head will always remind you that I don't care what religion you in, what they say, God will never leave or forsake you. So if God will never leave or forsake you, what what do you think your conscious is when it comes to the divine? Because physically, yes, it feels good, it's fun, you getting what you want out of the situation, but your conscious is going to ask you those questions. Are you sure you want to do that? Well, did you feel good about doing that? Yeah, I know you've received that, but how do you feel on the inside? What does that do what does that do to your heart? Why do you keep on doing this? You can't shut that off. People can try to shut that off with the liquor and the drugs and the physical things that we can get into, even food, uh, physical satisfaction. You can try to turn that off. You will never be able to turn that off. And people will run miles on destruction trying to turn that off. God will never leave you or forsake you. The divine had to step in. So again, I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for responding. And thank you just for being. Okay? Always remember what God is. And I love you. Till next time.